I think I've used this story before about a monastery down in South Carolina whose monks were growing old. They were slowly dying off. The monastery was slowly dying away. And they invited a rabbi from the local town to come speak to them, thinking this is a good chance for some interfaith dialogue. The rabbi stood up and said this: "The Messiah is here among you." It puzzled the monks when they heard this. They thought, what does this mean? What does it mean the Messiah is here among us? Could it be Brother Paul? Is he Jesus and we don't know it? Could it be Brother Chris? Could it be him? Is it him? And they started realizing, since they didn't know who it was that was the Messiah in their midst, they needed to treat each other as though they were the Messiah in their midst. They focused on one another, on seeing Jesus in that other person, and amazingly, things started to change. People began to notice the ways that they loved one another and treated one another. Others became interested in their ministries. Some young people expressed interest in joining their order. And months later, you could see the change. Because indeed, Jesus was there in their midst. They just hadn't had the eyes to see it. Jesus is coming to heal and to save this broken world, but coming in the ways we would least expect. Jesus comes in the voice of that homeless person who comes up to you asking for a handout. I saw one of the people last night that comes to us for food vouchers in the Pizza Hut. I saw her and sort of just smiled and looked at her. And Jesus says, "Blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Jesus comes in the cries of the child who has been neglected and hurt by his parents all these years, and realizes in the God that we proclaim, that unconditional love which his parents could never give. And we say, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." Jesus comes in the laments and the anguish of the parents who realize the demons that have filled their children and that they can't do anything to stop it. And we say, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." Jesus comes in the person who goes to the bedside of someone who is dying, to a family who has lost a loved one. And we say, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy." You see, Jesus does come. Jesus has come in each of you. Do you see it? I see it. I see Jesus in each one of you. I also see Jesus in a man dying on a Roman cross who asked his Father to forgive us because we did not know what we were doing. We see Jesus in the bread and the wine, in the most common of elements. Yet Jesus is there, his very body and blood given for us. And we see Jesus in a babe born in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. Amid all the chaos and the violence of that world, in a small backwater hamlet, born to poor peasant parents, we see the Messiah. Jesus is coming. And for that, we give thanks.